So you are going to punch these holes, which is how you are going to stitch the leather together using a sewing awl, which we're going to go over, I think, in the next video, or maybe this will be part of this video. So you have to make these holes. They have to be very even. So the way you do that is with these tools. So you got
a little fork thing, right?
Yep. You've got 6. You've got 4. You've got 2 and 1. And so that way you can do things like this, or you can go around. That's too close, I think, because it won't focus. But so you need to make these same patterns in your pieces.
Okay.
Okay. So you need, when you do this, you need to have a good solid piece of wood to thump on. That's not hard enough. So and also we need to go all the way through this. So you need to line that up, line those 2 pieces up, because your belt's going to go between here and there, and we're going to have Chicago screws on the bottom, just like this guy. So it's going to look like this. So it's stitched across the top. At one moment, as soon as I explain this. And then you got Chicago screws at the bottom to hold it on, and so you can take it on and off. So you need to leave enough space on the top where we can stitch it well. And yeah, so you want to hammer it, and you have to go pretty hard. Hard to get it out. Maybe take the back off first. Okay, now you gotta line your other piece up. Doesn't have to be perfect, bro. It should be pretty close, but
Once it's too perfect.
no. Okay, now stick one in the last hole. Yep, that's important. And then that's how you're gonna line it up with the next one.
Dad, you see what I mean? Like this. Then it sticks them together.
I see. Oh, that is a good idea. Ah, using the old noggin. I like it.
It does look kind of weathered up at the end, kind of beat up. I like that. Should I like hammer on the rest of it too?
No, I mean, you can later. Let's get it assembled and see what it looks like. So the next thing we're going to talk about.
I like the wrinkling look that it gives it though.
Yeah,
right?
a couple of hammers gives you some dents.
It looks good.
Well, let's put it together first. So hang tight, and we will stitch this together later. Okay, so now we are going to do some stitching. And so we've already gotten some things prepped here. So what we've already done is prepare these. We've stained them. I have riveted this clip on to this, and I've bolted this clip onto that. So now we've got to do some stitching. Leather stitching is super easy, and it's very cool. So basically you have to get one of these. This is a cheap knockoff from Amazon. This one is the C.A. Myers Company, the All for All. You can see that. So they're pretty cool. They've got all the tools here in the back, and basically you got your needle, and the way you thread these things is you use your little screwdriver to take off this bolt, take out your thread, and then you feed that up through the hole. There we go. So feed that up through there. Now you can put this back, but it's almost impossible to feed it through otherwise. So one side has threads on it, as you can see. All right, so now once we get that in there, you got to pick your needle. So the needles have a ridge on one side, they go all the way up, and then a smaller ridge on the other side. So you want that thread to go up that ridge, put it down in there, and these are sharp needles too, so be careful. That's a big one. I want the slightly smaller one. So it follows up that ridge so it can glide up as you pull it through. There we go. All right, so once that's in there, then you turn your collet, you tighten it up. All right, that's in there, and the thread should still come through. So then you thread it through here. There we go. All right, so now you're threaded and ready to go. So the way you use this, it is so cool. All right, so I'm gonna start with this. So you're gonna go through your edge through there. Be careful because it is sharp and it will cut you through your corner. And when you pull back, it leaves this little loop here. So now you can pull your thread the rest of the way through there. for your first one, you pull it all the way through. And then that's how you're going to tie it. So, and actually now you need to pull enough through for your whole piece right now, because that's what we're going to do. All right, so now we're going to pull back through and go through your next hole. And I usually do it with the thread facing the direction you're coming from, through the next hole. We'll get it lined up in the back. Once it's lined up in the back, it's going to be pretty solid. And don't cut yourself. Push it through, and then when you pull back, look at this. You get this little loop again. You can see this little loop, and you just feed it through. You don't even have to tie it when you start. Feed it through, and then you pull it back, and you got your first stitch. It's so cool. All right, so then we're just going to keep doing that over and over and over again. Straighten up our piece. Pull back. There's our loop. Feed it through. Pull back, tighten it up. And you can actually zip out a project pretty fast. And eventually you got to tie a knot of some sort. There's also a lot of different ways to do that. I'm going to just do 2 of those back stitches, and then, or over stitches as it were. And then now when we have our loop, now you just want to pull that out. So if you have any other kind of tools, I'm lucky I have some surgical instruments from old suture kits. Just gonna pull that out. And basically, you got yourself some extra. And then okay, so now we got our back. Got a couple of pieces. You can just tie those off however you like. Good old-fashioned square knot. However you like to do it. And there you go. That is a very simple and effective leather stitch. That looks pretty good and did not take much time.